Welcome, everybody, and happy holidays. It's that time of the year where we barely record anything, and we are rusty as hell. But for the first time in a few weeks, me and Stephanie are together, and Dylan, in spirit, as always, is somewhere out there living the best life possible. But he's still very much a part of this, and we are starting a campaign to get him back on to do an episode with us soon.
He should do our end of year recap.
Yeah, we should
us.
make him do some shit. It's been a while.
And tell us all the travels he's been.
But we are reconvening to do a few more episodes before the holiday season's full effect, and we usually take a little break, even though we've kind of been doing that already, because we are going to talk about something epic and something that I was fortunate to see in person for a little bit. Down deep in the heart of Texas, the summit Last Person Standing took place about a few weeks ago at this point. And to my surprise, a friend of mine that I met, almost a few years ago, was there. And no, it wasn't because I was negligent in looking at the registrant list ahead of time. It was kind of a last minute almost thing for her. So I am extremely excited to have this guest on and being able to see what she did, and she did some badass stuff. So we are joined by another Stephanie Rosebaugh, from Prescott, Arizona, one of my favorite places in the whole entire country, as I was explaining to our other Stephanie over here. So Stephanie, welcome to the podcast. Your first time, and I've gotten to see you a few times now over the past year and a half or 2 years. And but first and foremost, it's been a few weeks now. So let's hear some immediate thoughts on everything that's been happening around this event up until now.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and be with both of you. I think, it was a fantastic experience being out in Texas and doing a backyard style race, and meeting all of the other athletes that showed up to meet their goals and kind of go after, whether it was the last person standing or just like meeting the first 100 miles that they go after.
There were people out there that did that for their first 100?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that's the other piece that's like my favorite about these is, so when you go just run like a 200-mile race, you're all kind of like staggered and you get to know some people, but it's not the same sort of format. And in this backyard kind of style format, you're just doing the same loops over and over and over again. So you really get to know people and you're not as staggered as like the 200-mile kind of race.
And every hour you're starting with the same people. Like everyone's at the same spot, no matter what kind of loop they had.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting concept in general. This, by the way, I should mention before we go further into this epic performance, this was a Big's Backyard qualifier race. I don't know what they call it.
It was a silver ticket event.
So this was kind of a big deal. You either win or hit a certain mileage, and you can get put on some list to maybe go to one of these, or the big one that Last puts on. So this was kind of a big deal. So there was a few heavy hitters out there, but Stephanie, you had a question. Oh, and for let's, the audio listeners, let's
give me some kind of nickname. It'll be easier.
I feel like we need to give our own Stephanie the nickname and just preserve the goodness of our guest Stephanie's name. So Stephanie, our Stephanie, what should we call you? What are we gonna?
I have no idea.
Can we call you Stone? Just Stone.
That's fine. Oh my God. My students have asked if they could call me Miss Stone. And I'm like, no, that's not my name. Right, and they're Ms. like, Stone. I just think it would be cool. And I was like, it's not my name. Well, you can call me Stone though. That's fine.
We're calling her Miss Stone from here on out. So Miss Stone, take it away. You had a question.
Okay. So of course I know you were in it to win it, but did you have like a number goal that like, they say that you set some like ridiculous, like I'm going to do, so many days so that you don't quit ahead of time? Or did you go in just saying, I just want to go further? Like, what's the mindset going into this? Cause you've done a lot of last person standings.
Well, this is actually, that was only my third one.
That's a lot.
That's a lot compared to.
Okay, for me,
Okay.
that's a lot.
Me and Miss Stone combined, I think I've only done 2.
Okay.
I've done 0.
Oh,
Have you done one? No, I have done one. I have done one.
I did
Yeah,
Kelly's last stand, but I was drinking
Oh, yeah.
alcohol out of my handheld, so I expected not to last on that one. But I digress. Go ahead.
That's funny. That's really funny. So I'm sorry. What was your question? What was my goal?
Like,
going
what's the
into it?
mindset going in? Do you have like a mileage or a time goal, or you're just in it to be the last person?
So the uniqueness of this one is like I had improved my mindset from the other 2 that I had done. So previously it was like, I just want to win. I want to be the last person standing. But when you're like hours, like 24-hour plus in, that's not like, that's front and center isn't very motivating anymore. Like to just say, I want to be the last person standing and you still have 5 other people out there with you.
Because you're like, can I beat all of these people?
Well, it's not even like, can I beat them? But like, oh, they look so much better than I feel right now. Or like you start kind of picking out like, how long am I going to really have to be out here? And so you start doing this like comparison game. And so what I did for this one was like, it wasn't about anybody else. It was about me just showing up and continuing to show up. And I just kind of went into it like, I'm just not going to quit unless like something happens with my body that's out of my control. And so it was more like, I'm just not going to quit. And I'm going to keep telling myself like this mantra of like, I'm out here to love myself. I'm out here to have fun and just like embrace all the weird, absurd things that are going to happen.
Now, before we dive further into this race, let's do a little bit of the background because you are our first time guest on this podcast. And we like to do updates and have repeat guests for the first segment. But so I was fortunate to meet you almost a little over a year ago at Bigfoot 200 with your friend Jessica. And then I met you again, or saw you again at Cocodona this year, and just kind of following along your journey. You've done some long distance things. So you've done Tahoe, you did Cocodona, you did Bigfoot, and you've always placed really well. And just watching you and just your determination, and even just hanging out with you a bit during Cocodona, it was fascinating. But so up to now, what has been your favorite race experience? Because you've done quite a bit, and mainly around the longer distance stuff.
Yeah, I don't honestly know that I have a favorite. I love them all for very different reasons. And at this point, because I'm still pretty new into the whole ultra world, I haven't like repeated a race. The first repeat race I will have or am planning on doing is Cocodona in 2026.
Yeah, same here. I think that will be my first actual repeat, like race of something longer than a 50K, since potentially headed towards there. So what got you interested? Because you did a few 200s at this point in the last person standing format.
Yeah, I think I was just more like, I want to try something different. And that was last New Year's Eve of like, I just want to give it a shot and see what happens. And I had never done any sort of like loop format before that. And so I just decided to go after it. Oh, I can't hear you.
Stephanie is.
Have we talked about how far she's gone yet? Have we mentioned?
Oh no, we slow.
Because I feel like I think we need to take a moment.
So again, we alluded to the fact that this was a big, it was going to attract some heavy hitters, and let's just say records were broken in Texas, and for this event in particular, which I think this was second or third year of this event, third year I think, but yeah. So Stephanie, how far did you go?
So the final results hadn't been posted yet, I don't think. What I have as my last loop is 279 miles.
Yes, and
Okay, wait, but we need to talk about like the last person standing just for people that just don't normally do this format. Each 100 that she did was sub 24 hours. So it's like, and she was forced to stop. So you were running these way faster than sub 24, but it's like you're doing this format, like you're not slowing down because you don't have that option. You won't make the next loop if you have even one bad loop or.
Yeah, so it's 4.16 miles every hour on the hour for as long as you can stand. And so I was coming in usually between 45 minutes and like 50-ish minutes. So I was getting about 10 minutes of like go to the bathroom, refuel, put your legs up before it was time to get back in the corral.
And I kind of arrived to the event with Regina probably almost halfway through, like probably mile 150 or so of this. Basically, when it dwindled down to Rachel Moore was out there, so I was there about the time that she had to drop due to some injury concern. But there was this fantastic group of runners that at the end that just stuck together for so long. Megan Smith from Dallas. I mean. We had a local over there, Nick Peterson, our dear friend, who we were originally there to help out. Me and Regina were there to help out, and then beer mile champion Mark Dowd, who I didn't realize who he was, and some social media celebrity and a funny guy in particular. But you four, it was just some of that. You saw the building and the development and just the character growth of you four together in it. I felt like, to me, it felt like half the race was with everyone else, and the second half was just you four.
Yeah.
But it is just like insane. So what was your previous last person standing record?
Yeah, so I had done Babbitt's at the end of September here in Arizona in Flagstaff, and I had done 38 hours.
I have it pulled up so that we can see that it said 158 miles. And I was kind of surprised that you did that late September and then, pull this out.
So I bring it up because, it was not that long ago. And it is such a grueling format. I think it's more grueling than what the miles indicate. You have many people doing like 200 milers back to back to back, but they have the breaks in between. And the race itself is not as aggressive. Like 150 miles in last person standing is not going to be the same as 150 miles in a race. And LPS is way more aggressive on the body. You have no downtime almost. So, and as I alluded to, and as you told us, this was kind of closer to a last minute sign up. So what's the story on you after doing Babbitt's deciding I'm going to do this?
Yeah. So, I have a history of I have my eyes on races all the time. And then I just kind of wait until the 2 weeks before to sign up, just because anything can happen, right? An injury can happen, life can happen. I have kids, you just never know. So I like to wait till kind of the last minute to see what is life really throwing at me right now? And does this really make sense? And so with this one, my dream, my bucket list thing is I want to be able to make it to Big's backyard in Tennessee. And I really want to be on the USA backyard team. And so I have my eyes on the silver ticket races. And after I had my experience at Babbitt's, I was like, okay, is there another one out there that I can really go after and work on the things that didn't work for me at Babbitt's?
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm writing down notes of all my questions.
Miss Stone over here is quite quite the bookkeeper over here.
Okay,
And
so
dirty one of them.
Big's backyard, like I'm still trying to also process the fact that you wait till a couple weeks before a race to sign up. And so you keep it, basically you have it penciled in your calendar and it's not going to sell out. So it's just making sure the timing of like, you know, there's no sports that weekend or something like that going on with the kids.
Yeah. Well, it's not like the sports that I'm worried about. It's because those are going to happen and we know those events ahead of time, but it's more like, are my kids sick? Are they like, what is it that my family needs? And does this really make sense? And so it's not that I'm not training, because I don't want you to hear that. I am training like I'm going to go do it. But I don't sign up until the last minute.
Okay. And so also this is an event that when you sign up, like 150 miles is a whole lot different than 275. So it's like when you make your plan, who was crewing you? Did your husband come out and crew you or?
No, so I actually went to this. What's that?
What?
This is one of my favorite parts. Like,
okay, so I didn't have anybody go out with me. I didn't have any crew going into it. And I tried to find people who I like thought maybe would come out, but nothing was working out. And my whole thing was like, you know what? It's going to just work itself out. And, you know, I've been a part of like the ultra community long enough to know that like we help each other out. And so I was like, you know what, like, it's just going to work itself out. Whoever is meant to help me is going to show up. And so my in-laws live in Austin, Texas, and they've never been to an ultra in their life. So I slept at their house on Thursday night, and I just was like, hey, you know, like I had shared with them what I was going to go out and do, kind of like the format of it. I didn't expect them to maybe come out to cheer me on a little bit. But then they were like, hey, you know, we can come out and try to crew you. And so my in-laws came out and they showed up in huge ways. And then one of my best friends from high school that I hadn't seen in like 15 years had saw my post on Instagram. And she just was like, hey, I live like an hour away from there. Do you want me to come out and help out? And so she came out and helped out as well. And it was like just this like divine, like, it was so good. It was so beautiful because I got to hang out with one of my best friends from high school. And then my in-laws learned really what this ultra thing was all about pretty quickly.
And how good you are. Like they got to see firsthand, like how impressive you are. Hopefully, like they saw that part.
So
yes,
your in-laws consisted of two people, your father-in-law and who was?
My mother-in-law, and then my husband's brother was also there.
Okay. All right. So I didn't get to meet the mother, but I met the father and the other. Anyways, because I guess the mother got sick. So by the time I showed up, it was just those two. And they were some of the most like, they were heavily invested, but they were very new and they admitted they were new, but they asked so many questions. Our canopy setup to helping Nick was right next to Stephanie's. So we just hung out the entire time, just like shooting the shit, talking about just like, they were asking, I loved how invested they were. They were just asking all the questions in the world, how you do this, how you do that. It was kind of delightful. You could tell they cared and they wanted to learn more. And it's, as any person that doesn't run themselves would say, like most of the time, like crewing when you're not heavily invested it's pretty difficult. Like it takes a toll on the person if they don't understand what's going on. But they put the effort into like knowing and understanding, and it was kind of awesome to see. Like for the day and a half I was out there, like right next to them for the most part. So I really enjoyed your crew. They were awesome people, and just like, especially when we're hanging around the fire, and then some like, I don't know if you remember, there was a bunch of school kids that came out one night to help, like, I don't know what they were doing. They were like volunteering, quote unquote, making the largest fucking fire you've ever seen. Like out of one of those like solo bonfire things, basically destroying the atmosphere. Like shit was on fire. It was, we were heavily concerned. We were just hanging around this fire, getting our eyebrows singed off, or I was, and just like, it was great. They were great company. So I just wanted to shout out to them. Like you, for people that have never really probably done this before, they did a great job, or at least were willing to do a great job. So just wanted to give
Okay, so
out.
did you drive or fly?
I flew.
Okay, so this is my question.
Yes.
So your husband's not crewing you. You're going out by yourself. Do you book a return flight, or do you say, I don't know when I'm coming home? Like, did you tell him you have the kids for an unlimited time? Because this is not like an ending race. Like I could finish in a day. I could finish in 3 days. Like we don't know. So how did you do this?
So in my mind, in looking at like the history of the race, I was like, it's probably going to go 300 miles. So I'm going to probably be done sometime on Tuesday. And so I originally booked my flight to leave Tuesday late in the evening and was like, you know what, worst case scenario, we're just going to have to rebook it or change it. And I ended up actually changing it because I just wanted like a full day of rest before having to get on an airplane. And so, yeah, I just kind of like, my one friend was like, actually it was Jess. She was like, don't even book the return flight. Just finish the race, be the last person standing, and then book the flight. And so, because then you're like really committed, right? And, but I was like, I don't know, because it's like also Thanksgiving week. And so I was concerned about that piece too. And I was like, it would probably be easier to just, reschedule it versus not have a ticket at all.
So recently I've done like booked 2 flights and just because I don't want to in the middle of a race be like trying to book a flight. So I booked 2 and then it's way easier to cancel than to be searching for like which one you're going on.
Right.
But I don't think that that's like the normal, but that's normal races that have a cutoff. Yours, like, I mean, I can't even wrap my head around not having that long.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my other question. Did you run a watch? Did you like do a watch like running the whole time?
No. Well, so it died, like it was starting to go low battery, and I actually used Andrew in the process because I couldn't get it to charge for some odd reason. And so I had it like showed up as 2 different segments like on my Strava, and there was like miles missing because I had to go out without it sometimes.
Yeah, it was the finicky power cable. I don't know what's going on with your watch over there. But if it makes you feel any better, I accidentally forgot to give Nick his watch back for one loop when I was charging it. So he lost like at least 4 miles on that. Like, oh boy, that's not a good look.
Yeah.
But so my question is, you've done quite a few 200s. I've done some as well, but as you go through the motions, like you're cognizant, you're very aware in the beginning of these races, like mentally you're with it. At least for me personally, there comes a point later in these races where I'm kind of far gone, but I accept it. And everything just becomes routine and I just know what I need to do. And this is probably the rest of my life or something like that. Was there a point during these 270 plus miles where it just started to be like, this is now routine? I come in with a few minutes left, do what I need to do, go back out, rinse, repeat. Because I always hit that moment. And I've talked to a few other people that were like, yeah, when, it's a good feeling in some regards where it's just like you accept it. Did something like that at all happen?
Yeah, I think the way I kind of frame it is it just becomes like a meditative state. Like there's a rhythm to it and I just go with the rhythm.
Yeah.
Or as Dylan would put it, flow state. Isn't that what Dylan calls it? Or no,
Yeah, the
flow?
flow state, it's all definitely meditated. He's probably doing some meditation right now, to be honest. He's I don't know exactly, but it's just I hit a state of acceptance. So it just, that's why I always say that, like, I can't wait for my brain to just suck, just be completely gone, because that's when I just accept everything that's happening to me. So I don't know. It's always interesting to ask others about that.
Yeah, and I think it's more like you're not. For me, I'm just not like even fighting anything. I'm just, here I am, and I'm going to just keep going and putting one step in front of the other, one foot in front of the other to take one more step.
Okay, I have some more logistic questions. So, did you have a canopy? Did they set up a canopy? Like, did they have canopies set up for y'all, like lounge chairs, or did you like borrow the in-laws? How did this work?
So my in-laws actually went out and bought a tent for this. They I sent them a list of like, hey, if you have these things, awesome. I would love to use them while I'm there. And if not, like, I'll just have to go out and figure it out, right? Like, buy something and then just donate it after was kind of my thinking. And so they went out and they bought a canopy and they provided all the things that I needed other than the things that I brought. That were my kind of essentials.
You're telling me most of that stuff was like brand new.
No, not most of it. Like, I think the tent was the most brand new thing. Like, the chair was theirs. I went out and bought some containers. They had a little table that was theirs from home. And so like they had most of the stuff at home, but it was just the tent that they had to buy.
All right. So my question now is that before this, you did 140 miles and you get into a routine into that. So you probably carried that same routine into this. My question is, what did you expect your routine to be going into this when you came in? Like, you always came in, you were one of the first ones to come in almost throughout the entire race. You and Nick usually were the first two in. Mm-hmm. So what did you, when you came in finishing each loop, what was your expected routine to start the race?
Yeah, so I would come in and every loop I was trying to eat 200 calories every single time. And I had it laid out in like a spreadsheet of like, here are the options that I'm going to eat. And I had it kind of rotating on an A, B, C schedule, like, so it would flip. And that, I'm going to tell you, I probably did that for maybe a marathon. And then I just was like, whatever I want to eat, as long as it's 200 calories, that's all that matters. And then I would put my feet out.
Stephanie's go-to, or I'm sorry, Miss Stone's go-to over here is usually sushi. Do you think
that's
you
later in the race?
Sushi?
It's so hard to be able to carry sushi, like, with the way stuff is.
Yeah.
As far as like your last 2 times you did this versus this, the part that like you perfected, was that just mindset, or were there other things like sleep or sock changes or anything that you changed other than the mindset between those and this?
The mindset was the biggest one. I had told myself that I really struggled to run at nighttime. And that's been for all the 200s. And that sort of mindset going into the race of like, this is where I struggle. I dumped that sort of thinking going into this and was like, the nighttime is where I'm going to come alive. Like, that's when I'm going to own the night and it's going to be my thing. And so just that sort of like mindset flip of like, nope, I'm not going to do the whole, this sucks. And that was probably one of the biggest shifts. And then just perfecting like the hydration and the calorie part of it. It's like, I don't know, like at some point during a race that's over 100 miles for me, like the palate fatigue is like, I don't want to eat. Like, food sounds disgusting. that doesn't, like, so I just like was like, it doesn't matter what I feel like. I'm going to put something in my mouth. And I'm going to just put in the calories because otherwise I'm not going to be able to keep doing this. And it was more just
Which is discipline. It takes so much discipline. Like, you know what you need to do and you don't want to do it, but you're going to do it because you have to.
Yeah.
I love the mindset changing, the flipping it. I'm the same way. It's like when the night hits, it's like, okay, we're now in a different part of the race. Like now, like it's something to celebrate. Now we can pee outside and no one's going to be watching. Like if you can change the, like, not be afraid of the night, but like see it just as a different piece. Mm-hmm. Okay. So did you try to do any kind of sleep or close your eyes any minutes like that? Or did you stay up for the full 3 days?
I mean, it was, I didn't really sleep at all. It was more like I would come, put my feet up, shut my eyes, and like try to get, if it was like the 3 minutes of rest. And that, like, I don't know really what that does for the body, to be perfectly honest, because in the moment it feels like, ooh, okay, that felt really good to put my feet up and close my eyes. But as you're up for that, going into that 60th hour, I'm going to be real honest, like my running kind of looked like I was drunk because I wasn't able to run in a straight line anymore. It was like zigzags.
Okay, so did you sleep on the 200 milers that you've done before? Like when you didn't have that?
Yeah. There's definitely a sleep strategy that I always go into them with, where I like know I'm going to make it this far and then I'm going to sleep for 45 minutes and I'm going to get up and go again.
And was there ever, because I know Nick did this, was there ever times where it was like, I'm going to try to run this loop faster just to see if I can get some shut eye? Because there was one time Nick just out of nowhere busted out like a 37-minute loop, like around 200 plus miles in, just so he could get some sleep.
Yes.
So you did something like that?
After he did it once and he shared that he did it, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to try. But my body was not responding like Nick's was. And so I wasn't able to run really any faster. Like my key skill is like staying consistent throughout the whole thing. And that, I mean, it worked, right? Like, but I wasn't able to sleep.
There's definitely an interesting strategy in the last person standing race where a lot of the times the winner is someone that consistently does, you have an hour to finish the loop, consistently does maybe like a 50 plus minute loop. And the ultimate winner of this race, Mark, always came in like with 5 minutes left, like 50 to 55, not enough time to do anything other than eat. And it showed. His feet were the worst things I've ever seen. Like, I don't think he even had time to change his socks or anything like that. So it is such a strategy. And you can tell when someone's probably about to drop when they suddenly bust out a 30-minute lap, like over 100 miles in. You're like, okay, that's not sustainable. And it happened a few times with some of the people that I knew out there. So was there always like a goal? Like, this is the range I'm going to stick in no matter what for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, one, I always use my heart rate as a guide, to never go outside of like the recovery zone throughout the whole thing. And then I think the other piece is my goal the whole time was like 50. If I come in at 50 minutes, I'm doing great. Because then I still can go to the bathroom. I can change my shoes if I need to. I actually changed my clothes several times throughout this race just because like Arizona's super dry. Texas is not. And so the sweat and like the moisture was really irritating to my soul. So fresh clothes made me feel like a brand new person.
And our take on Arizona is it's so dry. Like I need lotion and I need like chapstick. I'm like, everything's just dry and itchy because I need some kind of like moisture.
Yes.
I'm constantly licking my lips. Like during Cocodona, I was just like, I think I'm dehydrated. And I actually really wasn't dehydrated, but I'm like, my lips are so dry right now.
Yes.
I drink more. And when I did Arizona Monster, my lips were just like blistered to shit. Just how dry it was out there. So it is interesting. Although overall, I'll say I think I prefer the dry weather compared to the very humid nature of Texas. Although where we were at, the weather wasn't too bad. There was times where the weather was a little sketchy, including the day that I showed up, the on and off again raining. So how did that play a factor into it? Because that, to me, I just don't fuck with the rain and the wind. So there was like a whole day where that happened.
Yeah, I don't like the rain. When it started to rain, that's the moment that I went into a pretty dark place and I just needed to cry it out. And so I just called a friend and did exactly that and just whined a little bit and was like, I don't like being cold. I hate being wet. You can't dodge the puddles because they're just everywhere. And so then he was, the friend I was talking to was like, just have fun with it. Like, be a little kid, run through the puddles, like allow yourself to enjoy it. And then again, it was just like, I needed to get it out, express it, and then I was able to move on.
Yeah, that's another thing I was wanting to ask about. Just any sort of motivation. I always say that just grasp at straws. It doesn't matter in the moment, like me right now, I can be like, oh wait, you were using that from social media, whatever gets you going. I saw Mark at one point on a phone call because I went out on the course for a little bit, talking to someone for a long time on the phone, loud, on his Bluetooth, whatever, just to distract him. Like, did you do anything like that? Did you use any sort of external things? Like what would you frequently do?
So I have a list of people that I call during my races when I'm in those low spots. And I just call and I'm like, talk to me about anything. I don't want to talk to you, like, because it might go to those like complaining, hurting, aching places. But if you just talk to me about anything, it just kind of absorbs your mind and helps you go to different places. And usually those friends can make me laugh and remind me like, this is what I'm meant to do. This is why I showed up at this. And it just like reignites something inside my soul.
So I'm about to do a race this weekend that has no fucking service. And I'm scared because all my people I call, like, I'm just going to have to like pretend they're talking to me. Like, how does that work?
Wait, what race is this?
Yeah.
I have Silamo this weekend where there's like, when we say no service, like you get 45 minutes from the race and there's no service. Like, unless you are at an Airbnb, like I will have no service the entire race. Like when we did 3 days, like we had no service and like no navigation. So if you want to go to the store, you have to find a local, write down the instructions they're saying to like navigate out of there. So
the race
I'm not going to be able to talk to anybody on the phone.
Arkansas has some of the scariest like situational trails in the whole country. So like it's very technical, very rocky, and for the most part.
Well, and there was a tornado that tore up part of the course.
The weather,
so the course is even harder.
No signal in most of it. So if you want to looking for some grassroots trail running experiences, Arkansas is pretty ridiculous. Good luck, Miss Stone. For that sounds ridiculous, but back to this. At what point? Because as I alluded to earlier, it became the four of you for quite some time. Felt like for well over a day and a half. Like there was moments where we would see you guys together. Was this ever a strategy? Did you ever reach a point where he's like, I just want to stick to somebody, whether they know it or not? Because I always find some motivation, like, oh, there's a person, we're going kind of the same pace. I'm going to leech off of his ass. Did that ever happen to you?
No, I think I go into it and I'm like, if I want to share miles with somebody or just allow, like, I think Nick was somebody that we just kind of ran at the same pace. And it's not even that we were, talking to each other the whole time. It was easier to just have somebody to be out there with. So that was really, I used that as motivation at different points, but then it was just kind of like, I came into this race not showing up for anyone else but myself. Like, I'm just going to go out here, I'm going to have fun, and I want to be the last person standing. Because I didn't really know any of who else was out there when I showed up.
I want to comment that Lola's over here drinking water.
I was like,
I can hear it.
Some fluids being licked right now. Like I want to.
That means she's done with her bone. Okay. So
just pull through, Miss Stone. You got this. Let's go.
The mindset of not comparing yourself is so priceless. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, you literally almost doubled the last person standing that you've done twice before.
Yeah.
Like, I the rounding and estimating, it's like you doubled it by just switching your mindset between saying, I'm not going to be first. I'm going to do the best I can do for me. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when you go out there and I just had a really bad race. And my mindset was that I kept comparing myself as opposed to saying, like, there's nothing wrong with being competitive, but you're competing because you want to do well, not because you're trying to beat anybody. It's not right. Like you want to do the best you can possibly do. So it's just like, that is literally doubled your ending, like how you finish this.
Exactly. No, I think that it's such a huge asset to just go in and own it, because it's yours and your body has the ability to show up at that start line. And it also has the ability to show up at the finish line. But the minute you go into like comparison, or I'm not good enough, or like I could just keep going, like you're going to talk yourself out of doing well in a race, if not quitting the race. And so I think going into this and was like, I want to meet people out here and I want to hear what they want to get out of this race. And I also am going to return back to like what my mantra is for this. And that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, whether I win it or I go home early, I want to just love myself for who I am. And it's not about the outcome.
Right. I remember listening to these two ladies talk about their running buddies, that they run the same exact pace, but they don't do any races together, because it doesn't matter if they're running the same pace. It's how they feel in that moment. So if you are comparing yourself to someone else that you are equal to, but you're like, they're not breathing as heavy as me, or they're not, it's not how you're doing, it's how you feel about it. And so that's where the whole mindset is. Like, if you're telling yourself it doesn't matter, how they are doing. Yeah. You're just,
One of my DNF races, I was running with these girls that I really looked up to. And they were talking about like what they were wearing, including their shoes. And this was like, we were like maybe 5 miles into this race. It was like so early on. And this one girl was like, I would never wear. And it was like exactly what I was wearing. And I was like, that was like not, my mind like latched onto that. And it was like plated shoes. Like, I would never wear plated shoes for this kind of race. And I was like, well, I'm definitely wearing plated shoes. And like, she kept going on. And I was like, it messed with my mind. Cause I was like, I don't belong here. I'm not even wearing the right thing. And so knowing those things of like, we're all showing up. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter what brand of things you're wearing. You're just showing up because you're brave enough and you've done the work to be there. So just go out and run your race and don't let those things get to you.
And it takes work to get there mentally.
Oh my gosh.
But when you do, there's so much peace in that.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's a lot of repetition in this, and the mind just kind of blurs everything together. But was there any specific loops that you remembered, or remember anything that affected you in a certain way that you kind of remember? Anything that kind of stood out, or is everything just a blur for you?
I mean, there's a lot of highlights throughout the race. And so when I go to race, I also like one of just the basic things I go into it with is like, I just want to have fun. And if I'm not having fun, it's time for me to go home. And sometimes when you're 150, 200 miles in, like you have to convince yourself you're still having fun and that it's still a choice to be there. And like I'm so blessed to be able to run 200 miles because that's not really a normal thing. And so returning to like a place of, yeah, like I get to do this and I'm going to choose to have fun. One of those highlight kind of reels that goes through my mind is every time we started from the corral, this specific course had like this ditch that you kind of had to run down. Like you went off the sidewalk into this ditch into the woods to do your loop. And every time I would go down, I would pretend I was an airplane and like put my arms out and make an airplane noise. And it was just like a silly, fun way for me to like enjoy it. And then Nick started doing it with me. And then it just became more fun because when you're doing it with somebody, it's like this connected moment. And so little things like that definitely kind of cycle through and made this race probably one, like right now, it's one of my favorites because it's the freshest. I think the other piece to it was like towards the end when I couldn't run straight anymore. Like I literally felt like I was drunk. I was so tired. But Mark was like running with me because it was just the two of us. And he was making so much fun of me. And I was just laughing because there was like nothing I could do. And at least I was still moving forward. So I think the ability to just laugh at myself when things get tough is definitely a key.
This is all mental attitude, mindset. Like this is like grit that like you can't get from building muscles. Now you absolutely have physical ability to get through all that, but you can't test your physical ability if you don't have the correct mindset going into this situation. Like you reached your physical limit, don't you think?
No.
Okay, don't. So tell us.
No, because the last loop that I went out to do, I didn't quit because my physical ability was giving out. I was out there and Mark had gone ahead of me that loop, and I was just like in gratitude. I was like thanking God for everything. I was so excited to just still be moving at 67 hours. And in that, I had said, like, I had gotten to know Mark and like what his dreams were and how young he was. And I was like, gosh, for him to be able to like take this home and be able to like complete his dream, like what an amazing gift. And so then I prayed and I was like, God, if you don't want me to win this, just make it like super clear. Because I was really in it to go home with the silver ticket. I wasn't going to give up. And in that moment, it was like my inner knowing very much heard, like, turn around. It was very clear. Like when I prayed that, it was turn around. So I did. I was like, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to watch this kid get to like complete his dream. I'm going to get to watch his wife walk alongside of him to complete this dream. And so I went back and I was just like, I'm done. And then I sat there and I watched them do that. And if I talk about it anymore, I'm going to start to cry because it just brings so much joy.
So you're ultimately just completely 100% satisfied with the way things are. Yeah. Because I didn't get to talk to you. We were passed out in our vehicle. We woke up and everything was packed up and gone. You guys did a bang up job leaving immediately. It was like, oh, she's gone. But it's like, like, what the fuck just happened? It's over. Like, they're all gone. But yeah. So looking back on it, just the entire experience, you came, obviously, you wanted to, potentially win, but looking back on it now, in the emotional state that you're in now, would you look back on it and be like, this is 100%, like, I wouldn't change a single thing?
Oh, I'm so excited for them. Like the amount of joy that I have for what I get to watch happen in his life. Because he is on social media like all the time. It's like that brings so much joy to me. I can go after another silver ticket. Like there's other races. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like I'm planning to go get a silver ticket at a different race, but this one was his.
And I know it's still like kind of a far way off, but you guys are getting so close to doing some, like, what you're doing is already insanely, like, just ridiculous. But like, you guys are basically already an elite company, and there was just so much more, I think, you guys will be able to do learning from this, but it takes this experience to be able to grow upon it and do even better. So yeah, without a doubt, like, God forbid any physical limitations occurring, like, I think everyone there can do even more than this. But it takes this experience and this growth to, like, you need to grow from something. And I think this is a great stepping stone for everyone involved in this race. So it was just awesome to see. And so I'm just so happy that you're able to take away this amazing positive outlook from everything going on. So
how's recovery been? Like, were you really messed up for a while, or?
So I think the hardest part about something like a last person standing is the sleep deprivation and how it shows up afterwards. Cause it's not like you can just go take a really long nap because your body needs to recover, and it kind of fights that sleep process. And so, yeah, I would say I am back to running, back to feeling good running. But that first week after, yeah, it was a little rough. Like things were tight, things hurt. Nothing like was injured by any means, but it just, you have to kind of baby yourself. For me, it was like a week.
And the sleep schedule.
And I'm such an and I'm such an emotional mess afterwards. Like, one of my coaches actually told my kids the first 200 that I ever did. So I just want you to know that your mom is going to probably cry a lot the next week. and my kids have held on to that since my first 200 because they're like, yeah, Mom, we don't really know what to say or do right now because we don't really know what the tears are about, but it's okay. It's okay.
Like we see you crying. We don't understand, but we see you.
Yes. And so I think that also as a woman too, is like your hormones get real messed up.
Because we get our hormones from sleep. Like men can go a night without sleep and they are still going to have their hormones like normal. We cycle, like we have to get sleep. Otherwise it messes. And yeah. I mean, like I am with you on that one. Like that is a whole nother.
So I think I'm no longer crying about everything, which is, I mean, and it's not like, it's just like, oh, that makes me so happy. I'm going to shed some tears and I just let it flow. But then there's other times that it's like, okay, I really shouldn't be crying right now. This is ridiculous. And it's just because you're exhausted still. Yeah. And so my birthday was a week ago, and on my birthday, I like came home and I was like, I am so sorry, but I just need to go to bed. And it was like 5 p.m. And in those moments, having people like my family being able to say, yes, please just go to bed. It's okay. So you can just kind of tune in and listen to what your body needs.
That's awesome to be surrounded by people that support you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's next? Like, do you have another one that you have your eye on that you're probably not signed up for?
Yes. So it's funny because like I said to my coach, I was like, I think I want to do something at ATY, the Across the Years. And that's December 31st, but I don't really know what I want to do. And yesterday I woke up and I was like, I think I want to do the last person standing. And like, I didn't know that those words were going to even like spill out of my mouth. And so I messaged him today and I'm like, you're going to think I'm insane. Cause I have said that I never want to do that format at ATY like that. Cause it's only a 1.42 mile loop and you get 20 minutes. So it's every 20 minutes you got to go. And, but I was like, I woke up and I was like, I think that's what I want to do there. Yeah. So I haven't signed up because I just like, it's still a few weeks away. But I can, like, I think the energy that I have in my heart about it is probably a good sign that I'm going to show up there.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Small chance I may be there too.
Yay!
I love Across the Years. Love that area.
Maybe I'll go too, Andrew.
Yes.
Yeah, we should get out of Texas.
We could go just like be a cheerleading squad, or you're wanting to run it.
Yeah, when you're laughing me every. I'm
not gonna run. What if I just go support?
The real Stephanie over here when she's laughing me.
On the 1.4.
Yeah, and I think here's the thing: is like I love to run, and I also need to be better about like what are my real goals with running. Because I think sometimes I'm just like, oh, that sounds like fun. Let's go do it. And if I really want to be competitive, I need to know when to rest and when to race and listening to those sorts of things.
Yeah, just I think going in with the approach you went into this race, like, just see what happens, have fun, and just be loose. Sometimes being loose ends up resulting in you, a rather surprising competitive experience for you. But, It is Across the Years. I haven't been there since they moved, I think, to a new course last year. So I'm sure just a lot more pavement now. So
it is a lot of pavement.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm itching to go back, but that'd be awesome. A great way to end the year. Anything other than Cocodona, you kind of have pins in like a bucket list?
Well, I'm going to do another silver ticket race, probably after Cocodona. There's a couple over the summer that I'm trying to pick which one would work better with timing. Because I really want to try to go after that silver ticket one more time.
Yeah, well, that's not anything we're going to do, so we'll let you do that. I don't know. Miss Stone over here is pretty good with endurance, though. So we'll see. We're slowly trying to convince her to enter the.
I was talking to a friend today about like what I'm going to do once like I reach this like 50 state goal. Like, what if I just quit running? I don't know.
What is your 50 state goal?
I'm trying to do a 100-miler in every state.
Ooh.
So if I finish this weekend, I'll be halfway through.
Yay.
So 2.5 years. Hopefully 2.5 more years. We'll see how that goes.
That's awesome.
Okay. Andrew, are you ready to like wrap this up? Did you get...
Oh.
Was it a yes? Back on.
Okay.
He'll hop back on. He's having... he froze for a second. Okay, so we usually wrap this up with like something you can't let go, something that's like on your mind. Andrew, did you have any questions before I do this? Can't let it go.
Still frozen?
No, you're not frozen.
Okay. Oh, well,
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I am falling apart here. So let's get to it. No, let's do the Can't Let It Go.
Oh,
there he goes again. Okay, I'm gonna go first. It doesn't have to be running related. It's just something that's on your mind that you want to throw out there. So, when Andrew is on, you can see there's a plaque in the background, the Mosaic 50K that his girlfriend Regina just won overall, like beat the boys and won the 50K. So that's I just love it when there's when people are able to like compete with guys, or females are able to compete with guys. So Andrew, I just used Regina's 50K that she won overall because the Mosaic, the plaque you can see in the background of his video.
Oh yeah, this
other side, yeah, that side.
I need help. That thing.
She just won that.
And
then I'm going to do a shout out. I was asked to do a shout out for a new RD that is doing, it's called Loop Out the Year. It's in Washington. They have a 8-hour, 6-hour, and 3-hour event on Ultra Sign Up. It's runner Runner Mom Amanda. Oh my God. That's like me typing in your email wrong.
I know her.
If you break the words up without caps, it's Runner Mom Amanda on Instagram.
Is that some tribal thing? I didn't know what you were trying to say, but
I'm sorry. But that's on December 27th.
Yeah,
if anybody wants to go check that out.
Met her at some 200s. Yeah. So
yes, she's a 200-mile runner.
That's cool.
Okay. Andrew, do you want to go next and we can close it out with the real Stephanie's?
I need to let go of a lot of things. Shoot. The weather is getting good, so I'm going to start running again. We'll see. Get back into shape. See if I can do Cocodona next year and then other things. Mammoth. I need to go ahead and do Mammoth. I was supposed to do it this year, but backed out on it. So, other than that, everything's pending. Although I'll be running an aid station on behalf of Happy Endings at Bandera this year. So anyone interested in helping out, we already have some people. Let us know. So yeah, that's about it.
What's the date on that one?
Oh my God, it's some day in January. That's all I know.
Okay, I'll look it up.
But one of the biggest 100Ks in the country, of course, you want to help out with that. So happy to go back to it. So. And Stephanie, I don't know if you've ever ran Bandera, but or been to Hill Country, since I know you have some Texas ties. You should check it out sometime. It's a huge race. It's awesome.
They used to be Golden Ticket.
Yeah, and then controversial reasons they took it away. Not so controversial, just there's too many golden ticket races in the United States.
It's still a qualifier.
Yeah. It's still one of the biggest 100Ks in the country. So, anyways, excited.
Courtney Dualter ran it the same year I did, and I doubled her time. I took twice as long as her, and I was proud. I was proud of my finish time, and she literally did it half as.
So did she finish right as you finished your first league?
No, because I started late.
Oh, you started late.
Because I started in a later wave.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so Stephanie, what's something that's on your mind? It does not have to be running related.
Something on my mind
that you can't let go.
That I can't let go of?
Yeah, something that's
been occupying. Just like what's in the forefront of your mind?
I think right now in this moment, I can't let go of, I'm getting ready to launch my pre-launch for my book, and it's supposed to happen on Friday. And I keep cycling it through like, it's just not quite there yet. So that's something
I'm excited.
That's spinning through.
So you've already written it? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I will totally read it.
Oh, you're so sweet.
We'll
Thank
pass
you.
it
It's
around.
Yeah, it's called The Power of Enoughness. And so the pre-launch will, cross your fingers, open up on Friday if everything goes as planned. And basically what that is you get to decide as a backer, like where you want to come in at, and you'll get basically a signed copy. And then there's some other perks that, based on whatever level you come in at, you can obtain. So
Well, we're gonna release this on Friday, so if you give us like a link or something, we can link it in all our
cool.
Dylan will, our producer will.
Yeah, the people,
Okay.
People that actually do all the work around it will do it. But yeah, that's cool. Wow. And congratulations. Look very much forward into looking more into that. So
Thank you.
but thank you so much for being able to take time out of, I want to say multiple days. We had to reschedule this because our life is such a mess. But you were very accommodating and open-minded, and the same approach has brought you pretty far into your running career. So thank you very much. And it was awesome hearing your side on this epic performance and just seeing what you are going to do in the future. We're definitely going to follow you and keep track and hopefully see you again in person. It looks like we could have some events. Maybe we can help Miss Stone over here one day do something longer. Because I don't know if you know much about her, but she's doing 100-miler in every state.
We already brought this
she's
up,
about
Andrew.
halfway through.
Yes.
When you
Did I lag out for that?
Yeah, when you lagged out.
Okay, all right, listen. So give me the benefit of it. Just go with it. Okay, I lagged out. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Way to make me feel like a doorknob, just used and never appreciated, just constantly being turned. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, whatever.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, you're so welcome.
I'm excited to read your book.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to running into you guys out somewhere on the trail.
We'll be everywhere. Maybe everywhere one day. We'll see. But anyways, on behalf of Happy Endings, as always.
Happy endings.
Happy endings, and Monos and Dylan's out there somewhere looking